Hello and welcome back to the Funhouse. It is I, your host, Mr. J, Joker Voice, Chuck Fisher, and we're here for Chapter 2 of the book of Boba Fett. Before we get started, quick shout out. CJack Productions. I was on his channel a couple weeks ago. We were doing a review of the Netflix series Cowboy Bebop. That's right. I said it. Bebop. And I will be on his channel sometime soon. We were going to be doing reviews of the Marvel series Loki and Hawkeye. He really liked them, and I'm just going to have to explain why he's wrong. Should be fun. Very cool. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Episode begins right opening scene. Overview of Jabba's palace, where Fennec is bringing the assassin that she left alive back to be interrogated. We then cut to the throne room. There's Boba. There's the Gamorrean guards. Fennec. The torture droid, which is, his name is 8D8, is explaining that this assassin is from a group called the Order of the Night Wind, and that he will not talk. Boba threatens to have him have his head cut off, to which this assassin then just says, Ichuta. That's the same thing that a Silver Protocol droid said to C-3PO in Empire Strikes Back on Cloud City. That is Huttese for F you. It's a naughty word. So, the droid then says he will not speak. They fear no man. Fennec gives a little impish smile and says, well, maybe he will fear the Rancor. Hits the button, guy falls into the pit, and as the door's opening up, the throne is rolling on top, looking down into the pit. Very much Return of the Jedi vibes. It was so cool. And, of course, he sings. The mayor sent me. Let me out. Door fully opens. Fennec says, it's empty. Assassin of the Night Wind, mocking him. Guess we're off to see the mayor. Title card, Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 2, The Tribes of Tatooine. Obviously, we're going to see some more Tusken vibes, which is really cool. So, going through the streets of Mos Espa, we have Boba and his entourage. This time, Boba is keeping his helmet on. Probably a smart thing to do. And the citizens are all staring at them as they're walking toward the mayors. We notice there's a lot of Trandoshans that live in Mos Espa. Just notice that. They go into the mayor's office, and the guy at the front desk, and that guy. Oh, hello. For your serendipitous welcome. I don't like him. Somebody kill him, please. Soon. We go into, they are just trying to brush him off. You don't have an appointment. Boba's getting frustrated when that guy says, I'm sorry, but the mayor was going to be indisposed for the next week. Boba at this point is having none of it. Barges right in, and we get to meet the mayor, who is an Ithorian. Again, going back to the Kenner Star Wars action figures, that was Hammerhead. That is that species. And this Ithorian has a really cool name. His name is Mok Shaiz. Just kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Okay, who am I kidding? I stutter. There's nothing that just rolls off my tongue. And for our first Funhouse Fact of the day, the mayor, Mok Shaiz, is played by showrunner Robert Rodriguez. After a little exchange, we find out that the mayor of Mos Espa serves at the behest of the daimyo, the crime lord, Boba Fett. Mok Shaiz then says, so Why aren't you asking who really sent the night wind? Couldn't be me. I have no motive. I have no reason. I serve at your behest. Maybe you should go to Garza's sanctuary, and there you might find some answers. So we go back to the casino tavern, and Garza Whip looks kind of nervous when she sees Boba come in. You know, and Boba notices this, is like, what's going on? We gonna talk here or what? Garza then informs him that Jabba's cousins, known as the twins, have laid claim to Jabba's part of the Hutt crime syndicate. They're going to retake it. Boba's confused. He's like, the twins are on Hutta in all their debauchery. What interest do they have on Tatooine? Then everything comes to a stop. The band stops playing. People get quiet. And we hear drums, 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 drums. We head off into the street. Fennec takes a sniper position. The Gamorreans stand right with Boba. And around the corner comes the twins, being carried like the royalty they think they are. And it's two Hutts. And these look really cool. There's like obviously some mixture of CGI and some practical puppetry. Looked really cool. Looked way better than Jabba did in the New Hope re-release in the 90s. Way better. And so we've got the male of the twins. He's got this little furry hamster-looking thing that he's using to wipe the sweat off him. Gross. And his sister, again, big, giant, slug-like creature with a little fan. Keeping herself cool. The Hutts, the male is the one who's really doing most of the talking, addresses Boba and says, we got some business to talk about. Boba, again, is not having it. He's like, we got nothing to talk about. This territory is mine now. The Hutts say, well, this was Jabba's territory. We're claiming it as members of the Hutts. Boba's like, I don't care what you think you're entitled to. This is mine. Then, the Hutts bring out their big gun. Now, I had said I wanted to see some bounty hunters from Boba's past. I was not expecting this guy. Any fans of the comic of the Dr. Aphra comic will definitely recognize Black Chrysanthemum. Oh my! A Wookiee who became a gladiator and is now a bounty hunter. He looks terrifying. Black fur, some gray mixed in there, long dreads coming down, just the battle armor. Wow. Wow. Funhouse Fact number 2 for today. Black Chrysanthemum and Boba Fett at one time were both employed by Jabba the Hutt. These two know each other. Clearly, there's some history and perhaps an unresolved issue here or there. I'm sure this will play out soon. We then have the normal exchange. The sister wants to have Boba killed right then. And even though Fennec's a crack shot, the Gamorreans, Black Chrysanthemum is a game changer. There's no way anyone is going to take him hand to hand. He's, whoa. So then the male says, yeah, bloodshed's a little bad for business. We'll figure this out another time. In the meantime, Sleep lightly, bounty hunter. That not only was a threat, that was an insult. Obviously, the Hutts are not going to recognize Boba Fett's claim on Jabba's part of the Hutt crime syndicate. To which Fennec says, "You're going to have to get permission to kill them if you're going to keep this ship afloat." Boba is like, "Well, maybe it's been settled." Fennec, "You really believe that?" No. So then we cut to Boba back at the palace in his Bactopod, and this is obviously the mechanism that we get for his flashbacks when after during the events of Return of the Jedi. This is what Boba's going through on Tatooine. We see him with the tribe, and he's getting some training on how to fight with a gaffy stick, the Tusken Raiders' weapon. And the Tusken Raiders slapping him around, saying, "You're not doing it right. You're not doing it right." And she schools him. And Boba's then like, "Teach me. Show me this." Realizing I'm out of my element here. I need to learn this. We are then hear a sound off in the distance that initially kind of sounds like a crate dragon. Come to find out, it's not a crate dragon at all. This is some long speeder train thing that the Tuskens are taking a defensive position because the train starts firing on them. And quite a few of the Tuskens are killed. A couple Banthas are killed. And Boba looks really confused. Like, what's going on here? Why are these people shooting at you? Later that night, while they're doing a ceremonial funeral pyre for their dead, Boba notices the swoop bike gang, those Niktos, that attacked that homestead in the previous episode. Boba then goes to the chieftain and says, "I know how to stop the train. I need a stick, a rifle. I'll be back in the morning." Boba tracks these guys. Tracks them to, oh yes, Tashi Station. And I don't think he's there for power converters. So, in A New Hope, there's a deleted scene where Luke Skywalker comes to Tashi Station to meet with his friends, Biggs, Cammy, and Fixer. So I say that because when we go into Tashi Station, the Niktos are kind of running roughshod over the place. They're taking some guy's drink. And the couple there is Fixer and Cammy. And as they're beginning to rough up Fixer, door opens, silhouette, in comes Boba Fett. And he just starts wrecking shop. Whoo! Breaks a gun over some guy's back, starts using the wooden gaffy, the training stick, beats the crap out of these guys. Bartender slides him a drink, takes a shot, walks on out, and starts looking at all the bikes. Which one's he going to take? How about all of them? Yeah, all of them. Brings them back to the tribe, explains to the chief that this is my gift to you. I will teach you guys how to ride these, and this is how we're going to stop the train. Chief is like, all right, I like this. And then we have a montage scene of just the learning to ride these speeder bikes. We then move to, and that's really kind of where some of the humor is, because the Tuskens are very primitive as far as they don't use a lot of technology, machines. So that was fun to watch. We're then going back to where Boba is training again with the Gaffy, and he's getting better, getting more proficient. One of the Tuskens sees the train coming. Everyone gets into position. They signal along the way because all along the Dune Sea, they've got members of the tribe set up in sniper positions. And so we're going to get ourselves a nice little train heist here. So Boba and the Swoops head off to take out the train to get on the train. While as the train is moving through, the snipers are picking off some of their snipers that are firing at the tribe, giving the swoop bikes cover. We then have a top of the train running scene. The female Tusken warrior does this badass suicide dive, runs her bike into the train, goes through the train and starts knocking people around. We then see that this train is being used by the Pikes, the Pike Syndicate. The Pikes are like the drug cartel of the Star Wars galaxy. The drug is spice. So, train gets stopped. Pikes surrender. Boba then negotiates a deal with the Pikes, where the Pikes were initially saying, we thought you were just uncivilized raiders. We were just protecting our spice route. Boba says, well, this is what you're going to tell the Syndicate. These sands are no longer free for you to pass. If you choose to use these routes, you're going to pay the Tuskens. You're going to pay a toll. You want passage? You got to pay. He then sends the Pikes to walk to Anchorhead. And the spoils of this, the Tuskens got weapons, water, food, the whole cachet, and some spice. It's good stuff. We're then later that night, a fire in one of the tents, and the chief now has a gift for Boba. Opens this little thing. There's a lizard. He's cute. Someone then hits Boba in the face with some spice, and the lizard just up his nose. And Boba's like, what's going on? And the chieftain says, he will guide you in your head. So we're getting a vision quest where Boba's in the desert, and you see Boba maybe in his armor, in his desert attire, and they come upon this tree of like ancient Tatooine. And there's lots of flashbacks here of young Boba on Kamino watching Slave One ride off as Boba's father Jango is going off to work. And a lot of folks said that this was probably a completely digital creation with using Daniel Logan's face, the kid who played Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones. You then see him holding Jango's helmet, which then becomes his helmet. And the tree starts to wrap around him, and the tree will sometimes will look like a wooden branch, sometimes will look like the Sarlacc. And Boba then breaks free, and it looks like as he breaks free, waves crash like the waters of Camino. It's kind of like a rebirth. Boba's shedding his past, the shadow of his father, and is now his own man. Boba comes back to the encampment with the branch that he took from the tree. And then they have something very special for Boba. they take him into the tent and they start dressing him in black Tuscan robes. And he comes out, he's got his hood on, pulls his hood off. And now the black undergarment that he wears under his armor, the black, makes so much more sense now. He's paying homage to this tribe that saved him. And then the even cooler part. The young kid who was a kind of a dick to him in the previous episode takes him to a craftsman. Boba learns how to make his own gaffy stick from the branch that he got. And this is just so cool. The craftsmanship, just him learning this culture of the Tuscans. And then he brings his stick, his completed gaffy, back to the tribe. They're outside around a fire, and they begin this tribal dance where everyone's moving together, and it looks very reminiscent as Tamura Morrison when he was doing the episode 6, The Tragedy, in Mando Season 2. He had talked to Robert Rodriguez that he wanted to incorporate in Boba's fighting style and his movements a lot of his traditional Maori Islander feel, and you really get that in this scene. And cut. And we then, of course, written by Jon Favreau. This was directed by Steph Green. Don't really know anything about her, but if anything she's done is anything like this, wow. So, my initial take on this episode is, this was amazing. Absolutely amazing episode. Just seeing a original trilogy species really get fleshed out, because up until Mando Season 2, we had seen the Tuscans twice. 3 times. Sorry, 3 times. A New Hope, where this particular tribe is more of a raider tribe. They attacked Luke. They attacked Luke. The second time we saw them is in The Phantom Menace, where they're poking fun during the pod race. And then in Attack of the Clones, where the chieftain had said that there are many tribes, and some of them are murderers. They are savages, as we saw the treatment of Shmi Skywalker. And to get a species now, especially with this one, so fleshed out, and just the cultural, the ceremony, and what they have gone through, very reminiscent, very, I'd say very much inspired by Native Americans. Many tribes, not all of them were warlike. They were not all savages. Some of them had a very sense of craftsmanship and whatnot, but were very nomadic as well. And this was absolutely just beautiful, absolutely beautiful episode. Again, we've seen who the true power players are. This is going to be a battle for power between Boba Fett and the Hutts. And what else are the Hutts going to pull out? This is just, and I'm just going to say it again, Black Satin just looked amazing. Absolutely amazing. Whew. Wow, I'm excited for next episode. I can't wait to see where we're going. Before we wrap up, we're gonna go to we have the hashtag Keep Talking segment here. As you know, I'm a stutterer, as I've said in my last video. I know you probably, I may be the only person some of you have interacted with that stutters. It's a little more common than you might think. It's about 1 per 100 people stutter. So if, to put that into context, take the United States, about 330 million people-ish. The amount of stutterers is basically the population of the state I live in. State of Nevada. Just to put that into context. So, yeah, there's a lot of us out there. And if you go through a normal day, you probably come across 100 people, whether in passing, talking to, whatever. One of those people has a speech impediment. So keep that in mind, folks. And final Funhouse Fact of the day. The king of rock and roll. The king, Elvis himself, yes, folks, was a stutterer. Bet you can't wait to find out who else is a stutterer. Can you now? So there we go. Again, thanks for coming back. Let's get this going again. I'm gonna give you guys a challenge. We're up to 28 subs. That's amazing. Amazing. In a week, 22 subs in a week. Oh my gosh, that'd be great. If by episode 6, if we can get up to 50 subs, and get a video, 200 likes. So, at least one video, 200 likes, and get to 50 subs by episode 6 for the season finale. I will do my breakdown and analysis as Mr. J himself, not breaking character and in all his splendor and glory. And to do that, again, hit the like button, drop a comment, ring the bell, subscribe, and share this video. Share it. So, get the word out there, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm loving this series. We get so much Star Wars content for this next year. Oh my gosh. So, this is Joker Voice. I'll see you next week. And always, whatever you're doing in life, guys, have fun. Hashtag keep talking. And always keep a smile on your face. Toodaloo.